What I want to know from you, you were a man amongst the town last night. You had certain high-level conversations, and you called me very you were passionate about this. Name and likeness and your thing and U of M, and I wanted to just let you go on this because I've known about it, and I didn't find it all that surprising considering the source. But please go ahead. Talk to the people about this.
Well, as you know, name, image, and likeness is kicked in college sports, and a lot of schools have totally embraced this. I mean, just recently you had 5 Ohio State Buckeyes, I think, at a Mercedes dealership, and they're all going to get cars. They're going to get leased, and they're going to sponsor this dealership. It basically took everything that was done in the shadows, done in whispers, and made it public. You can now pretty much pay players to do something, to endorse your product.
How come Michigan players don't have cars?
It's funny that you say that.
I know, I set you up. It was just fun.
No, because I kept seeing Michigan fans kind of all upset about, well, how come Michigan can't do this? Exactly the question that you said. So I placed a phone call to somebody close to the university and find out that Michigan is operating a little different. Michigan is almost operating the way the NCAA did. Their compliance department and the university kind of putting the brakes on everything, saying, we got to check this out. Let us run through this. Whereas in other schools, Michigan State puts out an email saying, hey, we just signed with this PR company. They're going to try to get exposure for all our student athletes. Ohio State, I think, did the same thing. Like, schools are embracing this. Let's partner with somebody so that we can maximize exposure for the university, because if the kids are out there, the university's getting pub. Michigan, exact opposite, where you have people who want to sponsor kids, who want to say, hey, come endorse my product. School is saying no or pumping the brakes, and it's coming to a screeching halt. You got Hunter Dickinson, the star player on the basketball team, came out on a podcast saying, yeah, you know what? I wish I could do what other people are doing at their schools. Paraphrasing. Those weren't the exact words, but pretty much what he is saying.
Monty Bates went to Memphis and within 5 minutes had a corporate deal with FedEx.
Right.
So there's reality to this. I don't
almost
understand why they're doing it. I've just understood that they're doing it. I understood that they were way behind. I understood that they were not set up, quote unquote. There was even an article in the paper a while back about how, you had big-time boosters, begging essentially the Board of Regents, guys, what are you doing here? What is the issue where Michigan is the one school that can't figure this out?
Michigan, I don't know if it's just the tradition. I don't know if it's just the Michigan arrogance. They just feel like we have to go through this and make sure that no one brings a bad or tarnishes our image. It's the only thing that I can think of, Mike. Because even when you see the football players doing the stuff at the MDN, you want to know why the football players can do the signings at the MDN, but no one else?
I know the answer, but I'm not going to ruin it because you're going.
Because the football jersey is the only jersey at Michigan that does not say Michigan or have the block M on it.
It's just a blue and yellow jersey.
So because of that, that's the loophole. That's pretty much the only thing that they can have. But you're not really seeing Michigan players having these endorsement deals because the university's dragging their feet. I'm blown away because you're Michigan. Because your brand alone sells itself, and you're putting handcuffs on it.
Well, here's the other problem. And I understand if you're a pragmatist, you look at it as, okay, OSU is just so far ahead of all of us. What do you want me to do? But whether you coach at Michigan State or whether you coach at Michigan, your goal is to beat Ohio State. Your goal is to win the Big Ten. If you're not gunning after that, then you shouldn't have the job. So my point is, as a Michigan fan, you sit there and you see Ohio State announce a car dealership and a car deal with 5 players. Now, it's not the whole team. All jokes aside, no, the whole team's not rolling with a fleet, but 5 players signed with a Mercedes dealership. And then you juxtapose it with Michigan and ... Like, you don't even have a deal with Pizza House. Like, that to me, right, that would bother me greatly. Now, look, as a Spartan, I understand that MSU's not in a place right now with their roster because MSU doesn't have a brand like U of M. It just doesn't. Like, no one's going to be giving, our starting. I don't even know who our starting corners are. They're not getting cars.
Ronald Williams,
right? Anthony Russo is not getting a new Beamer.
No.
So I get it, But at U of M, it works differently because U of M is the brand. It is the biggest fan base in America. The Block M is a brand, or Blue Magic. It's
right,
a
but here's the
brand
thing,
name.
though, Mike. Even Michigan State realized we're going to struggle.
They're trying.
So let's hook up with this company, and they got group licensing program where they're going to try to do whatever they can.
MSU's trying, so I can't be angry.
Right. We had Mel
But if-
Tucker on, and he's saying, no, we want to embrace this. Because I'm like, do you keep it out the locker room? No, we're embracing this.
But if you're Michigan and you are a Wolverine fan, what is your take on this? Because the gap is already seismic between OSU and you, clearly. But when you have Ohio State, even in the early stages, handing out Mercedes to their players, and you can't even hand yours a keychain, there's a bit of an issue here. And it's not illegal, right? It's more, what are you doing? Like, do you want to win? Is it time that, like, I've said it in a half-joking manner, like, if you keep Harbaugh around, that contract, you don't even want to win, but that's just tongue-in-cheek. Like,
Right.
I'm being serious about this. If you're going to catch Ohio State and you're going to reclaim what you believe is your rightful position atop the Big Ten, or at least at the dinner table, Rico, you're either all in or you're not. And when you tell me the things you're telling me with the people you've spoken to, certainly you're closer to it than I, it makes me feel like they're not trying.
That's what it seems like. Because here's the thing. Your top player, why would you go to Michigan? No. You're going to say because they don't win. Let's just say you were really interested in Michigan and going to Ohio State. I see that Ohio State players are getting taken care of. I see that if I go to Ohio State and I'm a top 4 or 5-star player, chances are I'm going to get a great deal, or I can go to Michigan and run down the tunnel and slap the banner. Guess what? That may work well for big-time alums, and that's what football's all about in tradition. If I'm a 17-year-old kid and I see, Ohio State's offering up packages that a kid forego his senior year of high school to get to Ohio State early.
Quinn Ewers, or Ewers, or whatever his name is, the kid from Texas.
Quinn
He's the
Ewers.
number one QB in America.
The day he leaves, he's got a contract for some sports drink.
$1 million.
He's probably going to get more. You can't compete.
Right, so there's my question. Let me throw a number out. I want to continue this because I don't know how much phone traffic we'll get.
Right, and that's why I said I don't know if this is a call topic, but
if
it
you're
blew me away.
listening and you're a season ticket holder at U of M, or you're a big fan, you watch every game. Look, if you follow this at any level, it's going to be hard enough to get back to even terms with OSU. But Rico's right. Got a Mercedes deal for 5 guys on the roster. Not only are they bringing in the number 1 QB in the country, they got him to leave high school a year early because he's going to get $1 million through an NIL deal. You see, this is the level OSU's playing at. And OSU plays at the level of Bama and Clemson, etc. And Michigan doesn't even seem to have an urgency about what they're doing.
No.
And when you pair it with the embarrassing way your season ended last year, when you pair it with the Harbaugh saga, with the contract, with everyone witnessing the Millhouse, 50% pay cut, like, if you're a Michigan fan, do you feel like Michigan is even trying to win? Because everything they do suggests that they're either willfully or just from an ineptitude standpoint, a malfeasance standpoint, cratering the program. Because if I'm a Wolverine, and look, I'm a Spartan, and I know it's a long road to ever get even back to where we were, much less where Ohio State is, and we may never get there. But at least MSU is trying. They're doing the best that they can. Michigan doesn't look like they're doing anything.